Hi, Suzanne Phillips here. Welcome to English as a Second Language page. I want to talk to you about easy ways to start a conversation. I know for many English language learners, they find it difficult to feel comfortable or confident starting a conversation. So I'm going to give you a couple really easy ways to start a conversation with somebody. Maybe you're standing in the line at the grocery store, or maybe you're waiting to pay for something. Could be anywhere. Could be a restaurant, could be at a concert, a festival, anywhere you're standing and maybe you have time to kill. And you want to practice your English a little bit. This is a great way to get some free practice. So a good way to start a conversation is to ask somebody a question. One of my favorite topics is to give them a compliment, especially ladies. If you compliment a lady and say, "Oh, I really like your jewelry." Maybe they're wearing a beautiful ring, a necklace, or some earrings. Compliment them on their jewelry and say, "Oh, I love that jewelry. Do you mind telling me where you got that?" That's a great conversation opener. People will say, "Oh, yes, I got that in St. Thomas on my honeymoon," or they'll tell you a story about it. And then maybe you can have a conversation about jewelry, clothing, fashion. Very easy to talk to, very politically correct. You're not going to offend anybody by talking about jewelry, clothing, those kinds of things. So those are easy conversation starters for ladies. For the men, or even if you men are fashion conscious, you can talk about clothing. A lot of men are into sports. If you're into sports, you can always talk about the latest game. "Hey, did you see that baseball game last night? My team won. What's your favorite team? What did you think about that call?" That's a great conversation starter. Again, these are safe topics you can talk to anyone about as long as they're interested and willing to talk to you. So those are two really easy conversation starters to open up a conversation, create a dialogue. And it could be somebody you don't even know, or even it could be somebody you do know. If you're sometimes wondering about what to talk about, how to have a conversation, don't just give a yes or no answer. When they say, "Did you see the game last night?" don't say yes. Say, "Yes, it was great," or "Yes, oh, I can't believe that play." Same thing with the jewelry or the compliment. When somebody says, "Oh, do you mind telling me where you got that?" "I got it at Macy's." Then that's fine. But maybe that means they don't want to talk. You'll know from their cues. But if you ask an open-ended question, make sure you ask open-ended questions. "What did you think? Why do you like that? What do you think about that play?" Always use open-ended questions when you're trying to keep a conversation going. So think about those two things. I'll give you one more as a bonus. One of my favorites. Almost everybody likes to talk about the weather. And I'll pan around here and show you. It's been really rainy here today and stormy. So this is where I live. But you can see it's very stormy in the background. So luckily it's not storming right now. But it's a great conversation starter. "Did you hear that storm last night? Or were you affected by the flooding? What about the tornado sirens? Did you hear them going off? Wow, it's really hot today. Is it going to be this hot the rest of the week?" Those are great ways to start a conversation. And again, you can't go wrong talking about the weather. We all have weather, no matter where you live. But apparently in California, it's pretty sunny there a lot of times. But for the rest of us who live in the Midwest, East Coast, South, Southern United States, we get a lot of different weather. It's been very stormy here today, actually. And there were many severe weather alerts. So weather is always a great conversation topic. So those are three things you can talk about. You can talk about fashion to include clothing or jewelry. You could talk about sports, your favorite teams, the game you saw last night or last week. And you can always talk about the weather. And you can talk about the weather to anybody. Everybody loves to talk about weather. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Happy Friday, everyone, and I hope to see you again soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to type in comments, ask questions. This page is for you, English as a Second Language learners. So if you have questions, please feel free to ask. That's what this community is for. Don't be afraid. Let's build your confidence and your comfort level. All right, again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Have a great weekend. Suzanne Phillips signing off.